Hi Libra, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. And this is your monthly forecast for January 2013 and an annual overview as well. Happy New Year, Libra. We start the month with a focus on a part of your chart that has to do with your ancestors. It has to do with your roots. It has to do with your family. It has to do with your mother. It has to do with self care. It has to do with past lives. It has to do with history, family history, that is. It also speaks about your home base. It shows the influences of early life as a child that you led, and whether there was enough nurturing or not, whether there was enough shelter that was felt or not. And this is the area of your chart that is lit up by three planets. We have Sun, Mercury, and Pluto that are over there. This house is also how we integrate all that we know. It is where we come from to create what it is that we are today. I think a lot of you starting this year are going to be not just battling, but I think there seems to be a lot of questions. This house is all that we integrate about, all that we know, where we come from, and what it is that we form and make what we call a home. These are our early life experiences, our perceptions, whether as a child there was enough security that was given or not, what it is that has formed into your current state of life. Planets here influence how that care was perceived, how it is that you felt, whether your home was a retreat, a sanctuary for you, or was it hell for you while you were growing up. Were your parents always there for you? Was your mother, how was your relationship with your mother? So a lot of tough questions and a lot of painful questions, Ligrons, and a lot of understanding and growing up as well as we start the year. Though this house is often associated with our mother, but if your primary caretaker was a father, then it could be speaking about a nurturing quality that your father had, that is that of the mother. This also speaks about how, as we grow older, and what it is that we seek as a retreat, what is it that we seek out as sanctuary, where it is that we go and heal ourselves. So, a lot of deep questions. A lot of this house is really on the bottom of the chart, so to speak. It's down. It's really down. Because that is the most private part. That is your core of who you are. What it is that makes you and shapes you. That is your home, where it is that you're coming from. Also, fourth house being the house of Cancer, it is how it is that we create a shell around ourselves to protect ourselves from the pain and the hurt that we receive as we are growing older or as a child, and how it is that we learn to defend ourselves, and how it is that it gets hardened and formed as we grow older, and it gets very difficult to shed that shell, because that is the only way that we know to protect us. On the practical side, this house speaks about renovations at home. It speaks about buying and selling. This house is full of gifts and challenges. I think it's nothing more difficult than to be sort of trying to peel off the. And like I said, at times it takes a lifetime to let go of the guard and really show your closest and your nearest and dearest one as to where is it that it really hurts. And Mars is going to be making you more expressive than usual. You're going to be very keen to be sharing your ideas, to be communicating, and you will be communicating or articulating quite effectively. A lot of participation in parties, socializing, spending time with your children. I think a lot of healing also with children could be there. Though I would say there is some amount of a friction as well. This is especially if you're dealing older children, that could be there. But I would say with the younger ones, that is your 12 under, it seems to be quite a joyous time, a lot of lovely time over here. You would also be feeling quite creative, and you will be more than happy to be expressing yourself through art, through music, and you would love at this point of time to be aesthetically doing up your house, the decoration piece of it. Now the fifth house is ruled by Leo, and that is the father, which of course it does not speak about the authoritarian aspect of the father, but really more of a reflection of a more of a disciplinarian really. Sun will also be there in this part of your chart, and sun is going to be giving you a lot of self-validation. It's really a time, Librans, to be nurturing yourself and loving yourself. I think if that love is not coming from outside, and especially if it is not painful, it may be, at times we do not have the most supportive families, you that is where that one expects the support to be coming, but at times unfortunately it is not so, and that is a time that you don't really need to be sitting and beating yourself with a stick. This is a time where you need to be loving yourself, you need to be validating your own worth, how it is that you're treating yourself, what is it that you think about yourself in your own eyes. It's very important time for you, Librans. Try not to rather break in under the emotional strain of trying to explain your defenses or explain the hurt that is there, because like I said, at times it can take a lifetime of what has got formed as a child and now what has got hardened as a very strong shell. Neptune is there in your sixth house, and your sixth house is about your day to day chores, it's about your work. So you could be procrastinating more than usual. I think there's a lot of pending work, a long to do list that is lying with you, Librans. So get cracking over there and ensure that you, whether they're pending bills or there is some work that needs to get done around the house, some regular chores that need to be done, please ensure that you get cracking onto that. Also your health, I think a lot of you seem to be neglecting your health to quite an extent. Ensure that you go for a checkup and get all your tests done. Try not to sort of uh, idolize it and say that I know it's going to be all right and it's just a minor cough or it's just a minor ache and it's going to be okay, there's nothing major about it. Ensure that you go and you get yourself tested. Neptune, of course, is a very inspiring planet, so Neptune is going to be, I think, for those of you who work from home, there could be some amount of a creativity, some form of an inspiration that will be there. And it also speaks about confusion that Neptune can cause. It's, even though it deals with inspiration and spirituality, but it takes away a sense of reality. So there could be some confusion around confusion combined with procrastination can quite be a deadly combination. So be a little extra cautious over here, Librans. Try to sort of stay grounded. This is a time for a lot of self healing. This is also a time for transformation from within. You need to let go of past hurts, things that are not serving you, they are just causing you ulcers, Librans. Let go of them. It is really not going to be affecting the other person. I think it's high time that you just sort of change yourself, you change your mind, your beliefs, your entire perceptions. And again, like I said, perceptions that have got formed since the time that you were a child, just move ahead, let it go. Don't sort of hold on to it, and don't keep whipping yourself, and take care of yourself. Like I said, it's a time of self-healing. Give yourself loads of TLC. I think you need to be pampering yourself quite a bit, as it speaks about letting go of delusions. So some things that you have been expecting maybe out of your siblings, it may not be coming. I think it's quite all right to let go of that, and though you may be rightly justified in expecting it, but I think it's a time where you need to be sort of letting go and accepting that that support is not going to be coming to you, and it's quite all right, you're quite fine, so it's quite okay. Now we have a Uranus and a Pluto square that happens on the May 21st and on the November 1st. Now this aspect is going to be affecting cardinal signs more, though it affects all the zodiacs to a certain degree, but cardinal signs are going to be affected quite a bit by this. The last of this kind of square transit that we saw was in the 60s, and that is a time where you had a lot of activists, you had your gay rights, you had people speaking up more, self-expression, what it is that you want for yourself, what it is that is right, and your rock music, and everything was very unconventional. People were not they were coming out more in the open and saying exactly what it is that they wanted out of life or out of the country, the rules, the regulations, and expressing themselves in a lot of different creative ways. And we have a similar kind of a transit that is going to be there. Now, it is of course going to be affecting us politically as well as economically as well. Now, Uranus, while like I said, he's quite the wild boy of astrology. He stands for independence, he stands for rebellion. He is also known as the awakener. So, at times, it's not such a bad thing when he comes and shakes up things a bit for you, because I think all of us need that shaking up from time to time. You need to see things for what they really are. At times certain illusions need to be broken so you can really see the truth. Just when we get comfortable in our own stable lives, Uranus comes and shakes it up. So Uranus is transiting in your seventh house, and Pluto is there in your fourth house, and it's a house of your home, and Uranus is in the house of your relationships. So I think there could be some amount of not just friction, but there could be some suddenness of it, which could just shake up things a bit for you. And this is around your home. It's around your marriage. And I think for those of you wherein things have not been working out at all in a marriage, you may just decide to sort of walk away from it. And for those of you who have been I think trying to work things out, all of a suddenly you may find a solution to it, or quite an unconventional solution to it. Also, I think you may all of a sudden decide to move out and live somewhere separately. Now, this square again focuses on the aspect which has to do with your home, your roots, your mother, how it is that you relate with her, what is the relationship like as of now, patterns that have been formed since the time that you were growing up, conditioning that is there. You will feel the need to push yourself, and Pluto is a planet of truth and transformation. You may not only see, but you may say certain truthful things with which others around you may not like, and also you may realize something uh, which is true, and it may hurt you a lot. But this also speaks about making changes. It speaks about transformation. It speaks about you being stronger. It speaks about you accepting that it is quite all right not to expect that support. It is quite all right because you can yourself stand up for you, that you can make that transformation within you to forgive and forget and move ahead. So that is the key thing for you, and this trend carries on for you, Libra, this entire year. Home is a very important thing for you, even though yes, you pretty much thrive on love, but home is a place, I think, wherein that a lot of your concepts on what a family is, how it should be, are going to get broken as we start the year, and for good or for bad. Like I said, I think the best thing you can do for yourself is to be more kinder to yourself, be more gentler on yourself, be more nurturing. End of the month, there seems to be some good news around your work, Librans. There seems to be a little bit of a spark that seems to be picking up, maybe newer projects, new opportunities that are there. So it looks nice, and I think you will be not just accolades and awards, but I think there seems to be some amount of a recognition for your work, some amount of a credit that you will get for the work that you have been doing. Saturn has been there in your second house since October 2012, and she carries on being there till 2015. And Saturn has been she's been teaching you lessons on how to manage your money, how to operate within less. And I know a lot of you are going to be banging your head against the wall and saying that we just got over Saturn from the first house last year, and we have her again in the second. But Saturn never really leaves the chart per se, or the zodiacs per se. She merely shifts her gaze from one house to another house, depending at that point of time which is a lesson that is most important to you, or that is required. Saturn is a feminine energy, even though it comes with all the characteristics of a male planet, that is your heavy duty responsibility, the seriousness, the pressure. but it's a mommy planet, it's not a daddy planet. So Saturn is going to be sitting in your chart and sitting at the back and watching you, and uh, giving you lessons on how it is that you not only spend your money but how it is that you generate your money for yourself. 2.5 years are going to be quite critical for you, Librans, as far as the money is concerned. Not that there's going to be a shortage of money for you, but you will just be managing your money better. What it is that is of really importance will be spent on. You will be a little bit more careful about not just going in for a retail therapy, but also you will be more cautious, more prudent about where it is that you're investing your money, how it is that you're investing. So overall, a decent year, Librans, seems better than the 2012. There seems to be, yes, a lot of deeper stuff, a lot of evolvement for you over here, but also there seems to be some good amount of love that is there for you. It seems you will be meeting somebody quite interesting in quarter 1 itself. There seems to be a lot of romance happening for you. Could be somebody who's quite unconventional, could also be somebody who's attached, so be careful over there. And fun times. So enjoy yourself, try not to get too bogged down by whatever it is that's happening at the home front. It's quite manageable, and don't get too sensitive, Librans. It's quite fine. I think bring out your humor and bring out your wit and just move on. So have a great January and a 2013. I'll see you again in Feb, and thank you so much for watching.